Australia's newspaper publishers came together last week in a rare moment in history to produce a special one-off newspaper, the Capital Post. The industry project, now a collector's item, brought together Fairfax, News Limited, APN and West Australian newspapers to produce a paper which highlighted the power of newspapers to government ministers in Canberra. Campbell Reid, Group Editorial Director at News Limited, oversaw the project.
The Capital Post, which is intended to be Australia's shortest-lived newspaper, coming up for precisely one edition, nevertheless is landmark in that it represents one of the only times that the Australian newspaper industry has come together to publish a single edition, and it showcases great talent from APN, Fairfax, News Limited and West Australian newspapers. And it's important in that it shows that in a world where newspapers are seen as old-fashioned, we can come together to demonstrate the power of what we do, the influence of what we do, and the good work that we do in a really innovative and dynamic way, and frankly in a way that still to this day other media are unlikely to be able to achieve.
The Capital Post was read by politicians in Canberra last week, including the Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. Mr Reid said the Capital Post acted as a reminder to those in power of the influence newspapers have as an advertising medium.
Government is extraordinarily aware of the influence of printed newspaper journalism, but seems to sometimes lose that same awareness when it comes to government advertising, and particularly in young audiences. I think there is a belief amongst governments and their departments that there are better ways to reach the audience than printed advertising, and while certainly channels are expanding, the power of the printed message is still the most forceful and authoritative way for a government and its departments to get its message across.
The paper included content from esteemed journalists including Paul McGough and Michelle Grattan, as well as industry leaders. It also contained some of the best and most recent government newspaper advertising. John Barker, Special Projects Manager at News Limited, managed the design.
I mean, it's a project that everyone has been very keen on and to get involved with, and so far, yeah, it's all gone very well. But as we get closer to deadline, I'll say they're still waiting on a few things.
The Capital Post was printed at the Chullora News Limited print site, where over 5,000 were printed. All copies of the July edition of the Pampa Bulletin will contain a copy of this limited edition publication. Rebecca Lever reporting for the MPA.